Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
If the government cannot create happiness for its people, there is no purpose for the government to exist. Ancient Bhutan's legal code of 1629. Bhutan, the land of happiness. Continue watching to find out more.
No to vegan? Wow, the hellfire will be very welcoming to roast you.
To express your appreciation to the people of the special region of Yogyakarta, an autonomous region of Indonesia, you could say Matur sembah nuwun in Javanese, one of its official languages. I am Wiranto. The faithful people of the special region of Yogyakarta join you to pray for the spiritual awakening of the human race. May your souls soar to magnificent heavenly plains. Welcome to our program, Bhutan, the land of happiness. Over the past 2 years, the global economy has significantly contracted due to the COVID-19 pandemic. While most governments measure their success in managing the country largely on its gross domestic product, a measure of economic activity, one nation prefers to focus on the happiness of its people. Bhutan is the only nation in the world to focus on gross national happiness, or GNH, in its national decision-making. In an answer to a question from a journalist from the Financial Times in 1972, His Majesty Jigme Singye Wangchuk, the fourth king of Bhutan, said, "Gross national happiness is more important than gross domestic product." This idea was developed by the third king of Bhutan, His Majesty Jigme Dorji Wangchuk, who dreamed of Bhutan being in a state of Gaki Punsum, which means peace and prosperity. How can Bhutan take such a different approach to other countries in valuing happiness over economic growth? And how does Bhutan put this ideal into practice? Long ago, the dense and remote forests of Bhutan became a place of retreat for Buddhist monks and other spiritual seekers. Among them was the venerated religious leader, the enlightened Master Guru Padmasambhava, who introduced Buddhism from Tibet. Many sects developed, and among the dominant ones was the Drukpa sect of the Kagyupa school, a branch of Mahayana Buddhism. The Drukpa sect is now the official religion of Bhutan. In the 16th century, Sabdrung Rinpoche Ngawang Namgyal, a Tibetan Lama, arrived in Bhutan. Namgyal established a dual system of government that separated the nation's religious and administrative leaders, which is still in place in a modified way today. After Sabdrung Rinpoche passed away in 1651, the country was divided into semi-autonomic regions led by their own governors. On December 17, 1907, the Panlop, or governor of Tongsra district, Ugyen Wangchuk, was appointed as the first Druk Gyalpo, or king of Bhutan. Since then, the Wangchuk dynasty has ruled Bhutan in accordance with the dual system of leadership based on the Buddhist principles of the Drukpa sect. Bhutan's ancient legal code states that if the government cannot create happiness for its people, then there is no purpose for the government to exist. That message from the nation's ancestors offers a guiding principle to all of Bhutan's rulers, requiring them to ensure the happiness of all its citizens. The idea of gross national happiness was introduced at a time when most governments considered economic growth to be the most important indicator of their success or otherwise in managing their nations and their economies. but the Bhutanese government instead considers a variety of both economic and other measures, including how well its people live in harmony with nature and all of creation. Amid skepticism from the global community on GNH, Bhutan, which has a population of about 800,000, has put in place a system to ensure that its GNH index reflects the citizens' real level of happiness. In 1998, the Center for Bhutan Studies and Gross National Happiness, or CBS-GNH, was founded. And in the Constitution of Bhutan, which was enacted on July 18, 2008, under Bhutan's fifth king, His Majesty Jigme Khesar Namgyel Wangchuk, the principles of the GNH Index are enshrined in national law. The preamble to the Constitution states that Bhutanese people pledge to secure the blessings of liberty, to ensure justice and tranquility, and to enhance the unity, happiness, and well-being of the people for all time. Article 9 states that the state shall strive to promote those conditions that will enable the pursuit of gross national happiness. The Gross National Happiness Commission was also set up in 2008. It is charged with the responsibility to compose 5-year plans and policies following the GNH principles, including conducting monitoring and evaluation systems and addressing the needs of vulnerable groups in the nation. National surveys to measure the GNH index have been conducted several times. The Center for Bhutan Studies was assisted by Oxford University in developing a questionnaire to determine the level of happiness of its citizens, and thus measure the progress of Bhutanese society in achieving its noble goal of raising levels of happiness. The first survey was conducted in 2008, followed by the second and the third in 2010 and 2015, respectively. The GNH survey questioned over 1,000 people from all 20 districts, called Dzongkhas. Questions cover all 9 GNH domains, which are 1. Psychological well-being, 2. Health, 3. Education, 4. Time use, 5. Cultural diversity and resilience, 6. Good governance, 7. Community vitality, 8. Ecological diversity and resilience, and 9. Living standards. These domains were further divided into 72 indexes and 151 variables that are used to define and analyze the citizens' happiness.
Vegan ends all killing.
Blessed viewers, we'll now pause for a moment to hear a brief message and return shortly. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to our program. The Bhutanese people live according to Buddhist principles of compassion and non-violence. Since ancient times, they have strived to live in harmony with their environment and to protect both animal people and plants as best as they can.
We are convinced that we must aim for contentment and happiness. Whether we take 5 years or 10 to raise the per capita income and increase prosperity is not going to guarantee that happiness, which includes political stability, social harmony, and the Bhutanese culture and way of life. The fourth king of Bhutan, His Majesty King Jigme Sengye Wangchuk.
The government combines conservation and carefully implemented ecotourism to earn state revenue. The country has 10 national parks that lie on the border with India. In Bhutan's constitution, Article 5, Section 3 states that at least 60% of its territory must be covered by forest. Bhutan has exceeded that objective for several years, as currently about 72% of the kingdom's land area is forested. These large ecosystems preserve an incredible diversity of flora and fauna people, including hundreds of species of butterfly people, water buffalo people, antelope people, lizard people, elephant people, and monkey people. As a part of its mission to raise the level of happiness of its citizens, the Bhutanese government has launched an intensive organic farming program. A pilot program began in 2003, and then the National Framework for Organic Farming for Bhutan, or NFOFB, was established in 2007, followed by the launch of the National Organic Program, or NOP, in 2008. Farmers in the country are becoming increasingly convinced that working in harmony with nature helps to sustain the flow of nature's bounties. Are the Bhutanese people really happy? Does happiness matter? The Honorable Sering Topkai, a member of parliament representing Sombaika constituency in the Ha district and the Prime Minister from 2013 to 2018, said that a genuine, sustainable sense of happiness and contentment can be achieved if people are confident in their security, identity, and purpose in life. He stated,
"We manage this because we use our limited resources very carefully and because we stay faithful to the core mission of GNH, which is development with values."
The size of Bhutan's economy is relatively small, with a gross domestic product of less than $2 billion. But education and healthcare are completely free. All citizens are guaranteed a free basic school education, and those who work hard are provided with a free college education. The state also guarantees the basic human need of housing. If a citizen does not have a house, the government will assist them in finding a place to live, under the oversight of the Ministry of Happiness. Young Bhutanese learn how to achieve happiness in their lives from a young age. At the start of a lesson at school, the teacher will ask students if they are happy or not, and remind them to thank God for their abundant blessings. Students are taught not to pick flowers. They are invited to plant fruits and vegetables in their school's garden, which they later harvest themselves and enjoy eating together at school. They are also encouraged to collect and recycle items such as plastic bags and bottles. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Bhutan is showing how its GNH approach to governance protects people in need. The state provides grants that cover 1 year's income to people who have lost their jobs due to the pandemic, while private banks acting under the government's direction offer loans that are interest-free for 6 months. Bhutan is one of the countries which has been impacted the least by the pandemic. The king, government officials, and the general population all work hand in hand to respond to the pandemic, and the king personally traveled to many remote areas to warn his people. The noble principle behind the use of the GNH index to measure progress is now bringing its positive benefits to the rest of the world. In 2011, the United Nations adopted a resolution titled Holistic Approach to Development and followed it in 2012 with the first high-level meeting on happiness and well-being titled Defining a New Economic Paradigm. Some countries are now conducting the happiness surveys developed in Bhutan on a smaller scale. A simpler survey was carried out in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada in 2009 and 2014. Future Vision Ecological Park, a rural development center in Sao Paulo, Brazil, which aims to maximize human and natural resources in harmony with nature, also implemented Bhutan's GNH at a community level. In addition, the GNH index has been applied in certain places in the United States, such as Seattle, Eau Claire, and state of Vermont. The GNH concept has been studied and used in Thailand, the Philippines, and the United Arab Emirates.
Sure, we can be a bit more efficient here and there, but unless we dramatically reduce overall consumption of animal products, we're just not going to make those targets. The Honourable Andrew Bartlett, vegan.
Noble viewers, we're grateful for your company today during Bhutan, the land of happiness. Up next is Shiny World Compassion Award Woodfield Animal Sanctuary, right after noteworthy news. In Buddha's infinite grace, may every nation protect life as we enter the golden age of forgiveness and healing.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/CTAW.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/CTAW.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/CTAW.
Unsere Sendungen bieten viele Sprachen. Gehen Sie auf suprememastertv.com/schedule und suprememastertv.com/CTAW.